Chosen one, the cosmic guillotine is about to drop, and you're going to have front-row seats to the most spectacular reversal of fortune in your lifetime. Every person who stabbed you in the back, every manipulator who stole your opportunities, every fake friend who chose lies over loyalty, they're all about to face public annihilation, while you ascend to heights that will leave their jaws on the floor. You're a chosen one, and the universe is done playing games. What's coming for them is biblical-level justice, and what's coming for you is rewards so magnificent that everyone who doubted you will spend years trying to figure out how they got it so catastrophically wrong. Let me tell you what's been happening behind the scenes of your life. There have been conversations about you, conversations where your name was dragged through the mud by people who smile in your face. They've been building cases against your character, planting seeds of doubt about your capabilities, and positioning themselves as the better choice in every situation. But right now, someone is about to make a critical mistake. They're going to get so comfortable in their deception, so confident in their web of lies, that they'll slip up in the most revealing way possible. They're in a meeting, feeling powerful, spinning another story about how incompetent you are. But this time, they're going to reveal something they couldn't possibly know unless they were the one actually responsible for the very thing they blamed you for. Or maybe they're gossiping with someone who knows the real truth, and that person is going to realize they've been lied to about you all along. The conversation is going to go something like this. Wait, you said they never helped with that project, but I saw them working on it every night for weeks. The beautiful thing about lies is that they require perfect memory to maintain. Truth only requires honesty. And liars always forget which version of the story they told to which person. One small inconsistency is about to unravel everything. That's how it works with chosen ones. You don't have to expose anyone. They expose themselves by getting tangled in their own deceptions. Or maybe they're gossiping with someone who knows the real truth, and that person is going to realize they've been lied to about you all along. The conversation is going to go something like this. Wait, you said they never helped with that project, but I saw them working on it every night for weeks. The beautiful thing about lies is that they require perfect memory to maintain. Truth only requires honesty. And liars always forget which version of the story they told to which person. One small inconsistency is about to unravel everything. That's how it works with chosen ones. You don't have to expose anyone. They expose themselves by getting tangled in their own deceptions. The person who's been stealing credit for your ideas is going to accidentally reference knowledge they shouldn't have. The colleague who claimed you were unreliable is going to be caught red-handed missing deadlines while you consistently deliver. The friend who told others you couldn't be trusted is going to betray someone right in front of witnesses who remember what they said about you. Each piece of evidence creates a pattern that becomes impossible to ignore. People start connecting dots they never noticed before. Your consistency becomes a stark contrast to their contradictions. Once that first lie gets exposed, everything else starts crumbling at an accelerated pace. It's like pulling one thread from a sweater. The entire thing begins to unravel before anyone can stop it. The person who trusted them with that lie is going to start questioning everything else they were told. They're going to go back through conversations, emails, and situations with new eyes, and they're going to realize they've been manipulated. But it gets better. That person is going to talk to someone else, and that someone else is going to share their own experience of being lied to by the same individual. Suddenly, a pattern emerges that no one can ignore. Meanwhile, you're going about your business, focused on your own growth and healing, completely unaware that your vindication is building momentum in the background. This is how the universe works. For chosen ones, While you're busy becoming the person you're meant to be, the universe is busy dismantling the illusions that kept you suppressed. The investigation spreads organically. People who never talked to each other before are comparing notes. Social media posts are being screenshot and shared. Text messages are being forwarded. Email threads are being revisited with a fresh perspective. What seemed like isolated incidents are revealed to be part of a systematic campaign of deception. The scope of the manipulation becomes clear, and with it comes the realization of how thoroughly you were wronged. Your former allies who abandoned you based on lies are beginning to feel sick to their stomachs. They're remembering conversations where you tried to defend yourself, moments when your pain was genuine and visible, times when you reached out for support and were met with cold shoulders. The guilt is starting to eat at them because they know, deep down, that they chose convenience over truth. They picked the easier path of believing the lies rather than doing the work to investigate for themselves. The exposure isn't going to happen quietly in some private conversation. The universe has a flair for dramatic justice, especially when it comes to chosen ones who've been publicly humiliated. They're going to be exposed in the same arena where they tried to destroy your reputation. If they lied about you in professional settings, their downfall will happen at work, in front of everyone who heard those lies. If they spread rumors in your social circle, that same social circle will witness their unmasking. Remember that confidence they had when they were tearing you down, that same confidence is going to be their undoing. They're going to double down on a lie at the exact moment when the truth is about to surface. Visualize them giving a presentation, taking credit for ideas that were actually yours, while someone in the audience has documents proving the real source of those ideas. See them bad-mouthing your work ethic while their own boss has been secretly monitoring their actual productivity levels. The audience that once questioned your version of events is about to see the proof they needed. And it's going to be impossible to deny, impossible to spin, and impossible to recover from. The exposure happens in layers. First comes the initial revelation that makes people start paying attention. Then come the supporting details that confirm the pattern. Finally comes the avalanche of evidence that makes denial impossible. Social media amplifies everything. Screenshots of their contradictions spread faster than they can delete them. Voice recordings surface at the worst possible moments. Video evidence appears from sources they never knew existed. The very platforms they used to build their false reputation become the instruments of their destruction. The networks they cultivated through manipulation turn against them as people realize they were manipulated too. Their attempts to control the narrative fail spectacularly. Every explanation they offer creates new questions. Every justification reveals additional deceptions. Every denial is met with more evidence. The public nature of their downfall serves a purpose beyond personal justice. It sends a message to anyone else who might be tempted to suppress chosen ones through deception and manipulation. While they're experiencing their public downfall, something extraordinary is happening in your life. The opportunities that seemed to constantly slip through your fingers are suddenly opening up in ways that feel almost magical. That job you wanted but didn't get because they poisoned the hiring manager against you, a better position is about to become available, and this time, the decision makers know your true value. The recognition you deserved but never received is about to come flooding in from multiple directions at once. People who barely acknowledged your existence are going to start seeing you in a completely different light. Projects you poured your heart into only to watch others take the credit are going to be traced back to their original source. You, your innovative ideas, your unique solutions, your creative contributions are about to be acknowledged in the most public way possible. The following is a message from Mike, founder of the Obsidian Inner Order, powered by Astral Atom. Look, I know you came here for your Chosen One video, but I need a minute. If I don't speak this into the field now, I might never forgive myself. Some of us were born into fire, abused, exiled, haunted by truths no one around us could hold. That doesn't mean we're cursed. It means we were chosen to walk through the veil and come back with the map. Inside the Obsidian Inner Order, we gather every week, live on Zoom, face-to-face. And when I say real people, I mean it. A former military drone operator who now uses his mind as the remote. A millionaire CFO who walked away from everything to become a psychic in Noosa. A spiritual healer once trapped inside a satanic cult. A seer, a sage, a soul who left Mormonism and found the Gnosis instead. These are the ones who gave it all up when their calling hit. And that's just a glimpse. And every call is recorded, so when you're alone, when you're crawling through the dirt of your own awakening, you can press play and feel the field again. This is not for everyone, but maybe it's for you. Can you see yourself among us? Join the Obsidian Inner Order, link in the description. Thank you all for supporting the broadcast. We quite literally could not do this without you. The universe doesn't just restore what was taken from chosen ones. It multiplies it. You're not just getting back what you lost. You're receiving upgrades that reflect the growth you've achieved through the struggle. The timing is perfect and purposeful. Your elevation happens precisely when their fall reaches its peak. The contrast couldn't be more stark or more intentional. Invitations start arriving from places that previously ignored you. Speaking opportunities open up. Collaboration requests come from people you respect. Media attention focuses on your authentic contributions rather than manufactured drama. Your bank account reflects the shift. The financial struggles that accompanied your integrity are replaced by abundance that flows from multiple streams. The money isn't just compensation for past work, it's investment in your future impact. Relationships improve dramatically. People who distance themselves based on lies are replaced by connections who appreciate your authenticity. Your social circle upgrades from quantity to quality, from performance to genuine connection. Your living situation transforms. The environment that felt limiting during your struggle becomes inadequate for your expanding life. New spaces open up that match your elevated energy and growing influence. Health improvements follow stress relief. The physical symptoms of being constantly under attack begin to fade. Your body responds to the reduced cortisol levels and increased sense of safety and purpose. For months or years, you felt like you were in some kind of witness protection program. Isolated, misunderstood, watching from the sidelines while others lived the life you knew you were meant to have. That isolation wasn't punishment. It was preparation. While you were separated from the noise and drama, you were developing skills, perspectives, and inner strength that your detractors never bothered to cultivate. You were becoming someone who could handle success without it corrupting your character. They were building their house on sand, focused only on immediate gratification and surface-level achievements. You were building your foundation on bedrock, creating something that could withstand any storm. Now that foundation is about to support something magnificent. The same people who excluded you from opportunities are going to be the ones presenting you with even better opportunities. The colleagues who dismissed your ideas are going to be asking for your input. The friends who chose others over you are going to realize what they lost. The skills you developed in isolation become superpowers in collaboration. Your ability to work independently makes you invaluable to teams. Your self-reliance eliminates the drama that others create through neediness and insecurity. The books you read while others were partying become the knowledge that sets you apart in professional settings. The documentaries you watched while others were gossiping become the insights that inform your innovative solutions. The therapy sessions you attended while others avoided their issues become the emotional intelligence that makes you a natural leader. The meditation practice you developed while others were seeking external validation becomes the inner peace that attracts success. The creative projects you pursued while others were climbing social ladders become the portfolio that demonstrates your true capabilities. The personal growth work you did while others were maintaining facades becomes the authenticity that builds trust. Your network was smaller, but it was deeper. The few people who remained loyal during your difficult period proved to be more valuable than the crowds who abandoned you. Quality relationships become the foundation for sustainable success. There's something particularly satisfying about the way the universe handles justice for chosen ones. It's not just about punishment for those who wronged you, it's about complete role reversal. The person who got promoted instead of you because they played political games, they're about to be demoted or transferred while you're offered their position. The friend who chose to believe lies about you over your own words, they're going to need your help getting out of a situation created by the very person they chose to trust. The business partner who pushed you out to work with someone else, that partnership is about to implode spectacularly while your solo venture takes off in ways you never imagined. This isn't karma in the sense of cosmic revenge. This is universal course correction. The natural order was disrupted when merit was ignored in favor of manipulation. Now the balance is being restored. You're going to find yourself in positions of influence and authority that would have been impossible to achieve if you had compromised your integrity along the way. The very qualities that made you an easy target, your honesty, your loyalty, your refusal to play dirty, are going to become your greatest assets in leadership roles. The reversal happens across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Professional hierarchies flip, social standings shift, financial positions reverse, romantic situations transform. People who felt superior to you suddenly find themselves seeking your approval. Those who dismissed your opinions now hang on your every word. Individuals who treated you as expendable discover you've become indispensable to others. The irony becomes apparent to everyone watching. The person they discarded as worthless becomes the most valuable asset in their field. The one they labeled as difficult to work with becomes everyone's first choice for collaboration. Their attempts to recreate their previous success fail repeatedly because they were never the source of that success. You were. Without your contributions, their mediocrity becomes obvious to everyone. Meanwhile, your success accelerates exponentially because you're finally working in environments that appreciate and amplify your natural gifts rather than suppressing them. The most powerful part of this entire experience is going to be watching the people who doubted you come to terms with their misjudgment. They're going to have to face the fact that they were wrong about you, and they're going to have to live with the knowledge that they chose the wrong side. Some of them are going to try to apologize, to explain that they didn't know the whole story. Others are going to attempt to rewrite history, claiming they always believed in you. A few might even try to take credit for your success, suggesting that their doubts somehow motivated you to prove them wrong. But you're going to see right through all of it, because being a chosen one means developing discernment that cuts through superficial gestures straight to people's true intentions. The apologies that matter will be obvious. They'll come with changed behavior, not just words. The people who genuinely want to make amends will demonstrate it through consistent actions over time. As for the rest, you'll have the wisdom to accept their acknowledgement graciously while maintaining appropriate boundaries. You don't need their validation anymore, but you can appreciate their recognition of what was always true. The most interesting responses come from those who were neutral bystanders. They're going to feel embarrassed about their inaction, their willingness to watch you struggle without offering support. Some will overcompensate by becoming overly supportive now. Others will avoid you entirely because your presence reminds them of their moral cowardice. The transformation in how people treat you becomes a daily reminder of how perception shapes reality. The same qualities they once criticized are now praised. The same behaviors they once questioned are now celebrated. You become a case study in how easily people can be manipulated when they choose comfort over truth, conformity over investigation, groupthink over independent analysis. Your story becomes a cautionary tale about the dangers of rushing to judgment, the importance of hearing all sides, and the value of giving people the benefit of the doubt until evidence proves otherwise. What's happening to you right now isn't just about getting justice for past wrongs. It's about stepping into an entirely new way of operating in the world. As a chosen one, you're being prepared for a level of influence and impact that requires unshakable integrity. The tests you've been through, the isolation you've endured, the character assassination attempts you've survived, all of it was training for this moment. You're about to enter rooms where your word carries weight, where your decisions affect other people's lives, where your leadership can change entire organizations or communities. The universe needed to be absolutely certain that power wouldn't corrupt you the way it corrupted those who came before. The people who tried to destroy you were actually participating in your preparation process without knowing it. Every false accusation forced you to become clearer about your true values. Every betrayal taught you how to trust your own judgment over popular opinion. Every professional setback revealed areas where you needed to develop new skills or perspectives. As a chosen one, you're being prepared for a level of influence and impact that requires unshakable integrity. The tests you've been through, the isolation you've endured, the character assassination attempts you've survived, all of it was training for this moment. You're about to enter rooms where your word carries weight, where your decisions affect other people's lives, where your leadership can change entire organizations or communities. The universe needed to be absolutely certain that power wouldn't corrupt you the way it corrupted those who came before. The people who tried to destroy you were actually participating in your preparation process without knowing it. Every false accusation forced you to become clearer about your true values. Every betrayal taught you how to trust your own judgment over popular opinion. Every professional setback revealed areas where you needed to develop new skills or perspectives. You emerge from this crucible not bitter, but refined, not hardened, but wise, not seeking revenge, but ready for responsibility. Your new operating system runs on different software than what most people use. Where others operate from ego, you operate from purpose. Where others chase validation, you create value. Where others compete for limited resources, you generate abundance. The fear-based motivations that drive most people's decisions no longer apply to you. You've already survived the worst they could do to you, so their threats carry no power. You've already been rejected by the groups you thought you needed, so their acceptance isn't necessary for your happiness. This freedom from external validation becomes your superpower. You make decisions based on what's right, rather than what's popular. You speak truth regardless of who wants to hear it. You pursue opportunities that align with your purpose rather than your ego. Your leadership style reflects this transformation. You lead through inspiration rather than intimidation. You build through collaboration rather than competition. You succeed through authenticity rather than manipulation. Your vindication is going to impact more than just your immediate circle. Other chosen ones who have been watching your journey are going to take courage from your example. People who've been afraid to stand up for what's right because they saw what happened to you are going to find their voice. The exposure of those who wronged you is going to create space for authentic leaders to emerge. Organizations are going to realize they need people of character in key positions. Social groups are going to recognize the value of members who prioritize truth over convenience. You're not just getting your personal justice, you're helping to shift the entire culture toward valuing integrity over manipulation, substance over style, long-term character over short-term gains. This is why the universe invested so much in your development. This is why your struggle was so intense and your isolation so complete. You weren't just being prepared for personal success. You were being prepared to model a different way of being for everyone who's been searching for an alternative to the toxic patterns they see everywhere. Young people especially are watching and learning. They've been told that success requires compromise, that integrity is naive, that nice people finish last. Your example proves them wrong and gives them permission to choose a different path. Organizations begin to shift their hiring practices, their promotion criteria, their cultural values. They realize that sustainable success comes from building teams of people with character rather than just talent or connections. The mental health impact is profound. People who've been gaslit, manipulated, and made to question their own reality find validation in your story. They realize they're not crazy, they're not oversensitive, and they're not wrong to expect basic honesty and respect. Your success becomes proof that the universe does notice, does care, and does eventually balance the scales for those who refuse to compromise their values regardless of the cost. As you step into this new chapter, you're going to discover that everything you went through was perfectly designed to prepare you for what's coming next. The skills you developed during your struggle are exactly what you'll need for your success. The patience you learned during delay is exactly what you'll need for sustainable leadership. The discernment you gained through betrayal is exactly what you'll need to build trustworthy teams. The crown that others tried to claim through deception fits you perfectly because it was always meant to be yours. Not because you're better than anyone else, but because you remained true to yourself when it would have been easier to compromise. Your public reward isn't just recognition for past suffering, it's preparation for future service. The platform you're about to receive comes with the responsibility to use it wisely, to lift others as you climb, to create opportunities for the next generation of chosen ones who are still fighting their way through their own dark nights of the soul. The execution of those who opposed you serves as a warning to anyone who might try to suppress chosen ones in the future. The universe is sending a clear message. Those who operate with integrity are under divine protection, and those who attack them do so at their own peril. Your story is about to become legendary, not because you sought fame, but because you remained faithful to truth when lies seemed more profitable. And that faithfulness is about to pay dividends beyond anything you could have imagined when you were sitting alone, wondering if doing the right thing was worth the cost. The crown comes with its own intelligence, its own guidance system that helps you navigate the complexities of influence and impact. You don't have to worry about becoming corrupted by power because the very process that brought you here ensures you're immune to its toxic effects. Your success becomes self-sustaining because it's built on principles rather than personalities, on value creation rather than value extraction, on authentic contribution rather than artificial inflation. The kingdom you inherit is one you'll expand rather than exploit, develop rather than deplete, share rather than hoard. This is what separates chosen ones from those who simply stumble into temporary power through manipulation or luck. It was worth it. It was always worth it, and very soon the whole world is going to see exactly why.